Since President William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua took over office in 2022, Rigathi Gachagua has always been called the president or the deputy president of the mountain region. Why am I saying so? Because Rigathi Gachagua only visits the mountain. If it's himself, all his functions are within the mountain. Rigathi Gachagua, most of the time, he talks about the issues that are affecting the people of the mountain. Rigathi Gachagua, whenever he goes to other parts of this country, he always says that nimeletea salamu za mlima. Yet, he's the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. As a result of these moves that he has been making, most people have been seeing him to be a tribalist and also a person who only champions for the people of the mountain, does not care for the rest of the country. So therefore, this kind of branding is one of the things that is actually pushing for his impeachment. But on this video here today, I want to show you guys why I feel strongly that Rigathi Gachagua is right on what he's doing as far as the Kenyan politics is concerned. But before I do so, kindly if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Now, what are some of the reasons as to why Rigathi Gachagua keeps on going to the mountain alone? First one, it is this. You have to remember the history of Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua was just a one-term MP. Being a one-term MP, he had not solidified the entire mountain region. Being selected or chosen to become one of the mountain, generally the deputy president of William Ruto during that time, when he was chosen to deputy as President William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua had not consolidated the entire mountain region. He was from Nyeri, Madera constituency, and everything that he had been doing for the past 5 years before 2022, it was all about Madera constituency. But when I was brought as deputy president, he was championing everything to do with William Ruto within the region. Therefore, Rigathi Gachagua had not created his own base from the mountain region. The only thing he had to do at this point when he had the powers, it was to go to the mountain and consolidate that region. So one of the reasons I feel that Rigathi Gachagua had to move to the mountain the way he did, it was to move to the mountain early enough and consolidate that region to give him the strength, the political strength that every leader who is ambitious in this country needs. I know this could be contrary to some of the wishes of the people in this video here today, but can listen to me to this. Rigathi Gachagua, he wants probably to become the kingpin of the mountain or even take over from William Ruto in 2032. Nobody stops him from doing this because he's just a normal Kenyan and he's also at liberty to decide whether to vie or not for presidency in this country. But how can he vie for presidency when he does not have full support or he has not consolidated his region at home? He first had to consolidate his region. Or every person, William Ruto has the Rift Valley, he was in charge. Raila Amolo Odinga has the Luo Nyanza, he is in charge. Joho, he had also part of the western, of the coast. Every leader has his backyard, where he has to build a strong base that will propel him towards the rest of the country. And that is what we are saying. Before William Ruto came to the Kikuyus for votes, he had a number of votes from the Rift Valley. Before Uhuru Kenyatta came for the rest of the Kenya, he had the support of the Mount Kenya region. Before Raila Amolo Odinga went for the coast votes, he first had the Luo people supporting him. So it is ideal for Rigathi Gachagua to have gone back to his people and ensure use his method to have the support that he needs to propel him to move forward. So basically on this, I want to state it categorically that it's very clear that Rigathi Gachagua, he had to go and solidify his mountain region to propel him in the future politics. I want to say that Rigathi Gachagua could not go to 2027 if he has not completely solidified the mountain. Why? His relevance. If people don't perceive him as strong, anyone else can replace him. So he had to solidify his base in the mountain to propel him towards becoming a stronger leader in 2027, either to deputize William Ruto, Kalonzo, or even become a presidential candidate. So therefore he had to do that. Also in the Kenyan politics, for you to survive, you must have the backing of your community or your people where you come from. Why am I saying so? Some of these politicians, particularly top leaders like William Ruto, Raila Odinga, they can always fight each other and even become friends later on. But for you to be safer, you must have a community backing you. Raila Amolo Odinga could have been arrested so long ago. But because of the backing that he had, the people who are following him in this country, you could think twice when doing that. Can you arrest Raila Amolo Odinga? How many people will react to this? How would they react to this? So therefore, this is a question that always kept people thinking because Raila Amolo Odinga had support base. Rigathi Gachagua had no option other than having one. Let me give you an example of Matiang'i. Matiang'i, the moment Uhuru left power, he was intimidated, actually later on silenced, and he disappeared from the country. Simply, the government was simply able to manage him because he did not have any political base. Even the Gusii community was not behind him because he did not even consolidate that mountain, that Gusii region, during the 2022 elections. Even the times he was in power as a cabinet secretary, as a powerful cabinet secretary under Uhuru's regime, he did not solidify, he did not unite the community. So nobody was speaking so much about him except the leaders, Raila Amolo Odinga and a few who could visit him when he was being attacked by President William Ruto through the police. So therefore, having a backyard, having a political base, having people support base, it's very crucial. Rigathi Gachagua had to do so. Another thing I feel here is that he had to take control of the mountain. Rigathi Gachagua had to take control of the mountain. Why am I saying so? There was speculations moving on, Raila, that in 2027, it's likely that Rigathi Gachagua might be replaced by a lady to become the deputy president of William Ruto. There were speculations even before the impeachment. In 2027, someone else will be chosen to replace Rigathi Gachagua. There were speculations that there will be someone from the mountain to fight for presidency in this country. That means Rigathi Gachagua had to take control of the mountain, become the only leader being talked about among the top ones. After Uhuru Kenyatta, it is him. He had to solidify and ensure that at least all those others that are thinking of taking over from him, they already know that they cannot reach where he is. So therefore, Rigathi Gachagua positioned himself strongly to ensure that he's at the top amongst all other leaders in that region. So therefore, was very clear that Rigathi Gachagua had to take control of the mountain region. Now, if you look at the mountain, it has so many upcoming leaders, both from the opposition and from the government side. From the opposition, you have Mwangi wa Iria, Martha Karua, Jimmy Wanjigi, Jeremiah Kioni, Uhuru Kenyatta is there. So many leaders trying to come up and also become kingpins or top leaders in that region. If you also check from the government side, Ndindi Nyoro is there, Kithure Kindiki, Anne Waiguru, all these leaders, they also want to become top leaders in that region. But they don't want to recognize Rigathi Gachagua as their leader. So therefore, it is very clear for Rigathi Gachagua to take control, outshine all these other leaders, and be talked of as the highest ranking leader of the mountain region. This is anything that could be done by even William Ruto or any other leader who wanted to become a president in this country or who has ambitions of any kind in this country. Let me give you an example of William Ruto during the 2013 campaign. During the campaign for the new constitution. William Ruto majorly campaigned in the Rift Valley. He used it against it. He went against the constitution. He was against the new constitution. He moved across the country, particularly Rift Valley, and he used that platform to solidify the Rift Valley support. That gave him the support actually to become the deputy president of President Uhuru Kenyatta. There were no negotiations whether he will come or not because he was already the topmost ranking leader from the Rift Valley region. That is the situation that it was not the same situation, of course, when Rigathi Gachagua was also being selected because William Ruto had already taken over the mountain. So therefore, they had to ensure that they've gotten someone who could mostly cement that chance. And Rigathi Gachagua was the best. But in 2027, they must have to look for someone who could have been the highest. So therefore, Rigathi Gachagua was the only person who was now. He had also to draw his plan to ensure that he's the highest person in terms of ranking, in terms of the strongest politicians from that region, so that whenever someone thinks of a deputy president, they have to see who is in the mountain. And the only person they could have seen is Rigathi Gachagua. So therefore, he had to go and solidify his base. It's also clear that Rigathi Gachagua wanted to take the mountain from William Ruto. William Ruto had called himself the kingpin of the mountain. He took over the mountain from Uhuru Kenyatta by the help of course, the local MPs who are not united, speaking one voice. So therefore, Rigathi Gachagua has to brand himself before 2027 to be the person of the mountain, in that whenever William Ruto is coming to negotiate, it goes through him for the mountain to benefit, based on what politics is in this country. That is my opinion. I would like to see yours on the comment section. Kindly make sure that if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure to subscribe, like and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. And for those who have been returning, following on what you're doing, I saw actually almost 700 of you guys come back to watch our videos. Out of the 1,600, that's more than a half, almost a half actually. And I want to thank you so much guys for always coming back to see the content you do here. We do interviews, we do conversations of this kind of analysis, we do sometimes sports, and we are going to bring more content. Kindly keep following, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. My name is Ambil Mukwa once again.